Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful and we're beautiful and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the Spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
I know what you're thinking. Concord? Isn't that game already dead and over with? Haven't we buried that game? Well, no, we just thought the game was dead. You see, there was a little bit of scuttlebutt behind the scenes. People were talking about maybe Concord's coming back free to play. Maybe it's going to make a reemergence because there were some heavy updates that were going on behind the scenes. And a lot of the people that are into that sort of stuff where they can get to the back-end data, they were looking at it going, wow, these are some pretty big updates. And that motivated the rumor that this game could be making a reemergence. Well, no. The game is not only not coming back, the studio has been officially closed by Sony. That is correct. Now Concord is dead and FireWalk Studio is officially shut down. Let's take a look at this. Let me try to get the most optimal view for you here. Let's roll down just a bit. So it says, Dear team, let's go back. Today, I want to share some important updates from Sony Interactive Entertainment's Studio Business Group. We consistently evaluate our games portfolio and status of our projects to ensure we are meeting near and long-term business priorities. As part of our ongoing efforts to strengthen SIE's studio business, we have had to make a difficult decision relating to two of our studios, Neon Koi and FireWalk Studios. Expanding beyond PlayStation devices and crafting engaging online experiences alongside our single-player games are key focal areas for us as we evolve our revenue streams. We need to be strategic, though, in bringing our games to new platforms and recognizing when our games fall short of meeting player expectations. So it wasn't the $400 million anywhere within there that you realized that you were making a mistake. It was only after you launched the games and they failed. I mean, anyone with a brain could have told you that Concord was not going to do well. It didn't have anything that was new or revolutionary. The graphics weren't all that good. The gameplay was shockingly slow and inept. The character designs were woke and nobody wanted anything to do with it. I know this is going to blow the minds of some of you freaks, but actually gameplay is just one component of a game. You could get the gameplay perfect. And if the aesthetics aren't there, if there's nothing to connect the people to the game, they're not going to play it. So here's a little lesson for you, free of charge. All right? Do not create a game with the woke standard of beauty in mind. And I'm using the word woke for the sake of brevity. You could fill it in with whatever word you want in order to describe this certain series of behaviors and this certain outlook. It is a twisted and deranged anti-human narcissistic left-wing worldview which basically reduces humans down to these bags of meat. There is no gender, there is no sex, everything is amorphous, everything is amalgamous, you can mix and match, it's like we're Mr. Potato Head. These freaks actually believe that. And so their designs are based on that premise. So men aren't masculine, they're far more feminine. They're far more effeminate. Women are not feminine, they're far more masculine. So the women and the men sort of look alike. They're sort of overweight, gross looking, short. The breasts are reduced in size to being almost nothing. Because if you actually show a real woman, well, you may offend somebody who's trans, and that would be just inexcusable. You can't do that. But when you incorporate all of that bullshit and the lack of talent of the people behind the scenes mixed in with their outrageously sized egos and their inability to cope with reality and take criticism and feedback and live in reality, it is a recipe for disaster, and you had every opportunity to fire the entire team and bring on people that actually knew what they were doing, and you never did. So, FireWalk Studios is gone. So let's take a look. While mobile remains a growth priority, of course it does. Regarding FireWalk, as announced in early September, an important update on Concord. Certain aspects of Concord were exceptional. Boy, I mean, certain aspects of it, right? Right? Certain aspects were, no aspects of it were exceptional. None. This is toxic positivity. What you need is somebody to go in there and be brutal. Do you understand the money you lost? Do you understand that people have lost their jobs now? A lot of people. A studio has been shuttered. Do you understand that if you at any point had been a leader, had been a boss, had gone in there and had I'm here to take name, I'm here to kick ass and take names, or I'm here to kick names and take ass. Whatever it is, if you were there and you were a dictator and you had deadlines and the deadlines were reasonable, but you expected greatness from your game, you fired anyone who couldn't live up to that. You got rid of all of the woke activists from your company. You had them redesign everything over and over until it actually looked good. You play tested all of the different mechanics and features to make it more in line with what people expect from a third-person shooter. If you actually did all of these things that are the key to success, and by the way, making super attractive women with big tits and hips, I'm not saying that everyone has to be that way, but enough of them have to be that way to draw people in. It's what Genshin Impact figured out. It's what Zenless Zone Zero figured out. All of these games from Japanese companies have figured this out. They figured out that the key to success is women. Having interesting female characters that look attractive and sound attractive. Good voice acting. Good character design. Interesting backstories. People are willing to pay a premium to connect with a character in this day and age. And you decided to put the ugliest characters I've ever seen. Well, this was before Dragon Age, the Veilguard. But you put the ugliest characters imaginable, and you're surprised that nobody... You're surprised that nobody wanted to play your shit game. FireWalk Studios shut down by Sony. Concord, evil vanquished. I can say with certainty that I and the artist behind Concord put a ton of soul and heart into every character design and model. Concord has been a dream project for me as an artist, and I am extremely proud to have helped flesh out our world. I am beyond excited to show our characters and concept art to the world, even if the reception is negative, for whatever reason. I put my soul into every piece. Oh man. After failing to manage 700 players, I was going to DM you I was going to DM you after seeing this, but this site makes me want to pay to do that. Makes me pay to do that. So at the risk of being dogpiled, I'm just going to say this here. A lot affected the art side of Concord, including design by committee, failure of leadership to listen to the art team. Oh, I see. So this is before the launch. This is after failing. Right. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah, and you put the tags in there. I mean, yeah, you failed. And this person trying to avoid responsibility is one of the most on-brand things for these people. And yeah, now they're all trying to blame each other. Yeah, I think this picture is the perfect encapsulation. Where you have a bunch of ugly freaks, a bunch of untalented, degenerate narcissists that are in a room together, and everything is about themselves. Everything is about making a message, sending a message. These are the same type of people that think that they can walk into a museum and pour paint over a painting that was created by I was going to say a luxury, but legendary artist. They think they have the right to go in there and do that. They can just make it however they want. They want to pour paint on it. They want to deface it. They want to cut it up. That's perfectly within their right because they have a message to tell you. Doesn't matter the consequence or the price to pay or the damage. They're willing to do it. So my reaction is good riddance to bad rubbish. Good riddance to FireWalk Studios. And here's the thing. I don't relish people losing their job. I don't relish these people going out of business. But the fact of the matter is this. You have the same opportunities to make something great that the people who made Black Myth Wukong had. The people who made Space Marines 2 what it is. You had every opportunity. And the thing is, you may think that what I say is a little bit harsh. You may think it's a bit abrasive, but it's just tough. Especially just tough fatherly love. It's telling you the truth that you don't want to hear. You to success. Because Concord didn't have to fail. If you came up with a better name, when I think of Concord, I think of the grape jelly, Concord grapes. I'm just saying, it's not a cool name. It's not innovative. The character designs are atrocious. They were all woke. They're all riddled with DEI and ESG and all that other bullshit. Nothing really stood out. Say what you want about Overwatch being woke, and it is. There's no doubt about it. But the character designs are at least made with an understanding that you have to compromise in certain areas. So I'm sure the freaks at Blizzard were not happy that they had to have female characters that were a little bit revealing, a little bit attractive. I'm sure they weren't pleased about that. I'm sure they would much rather have all the characters be fat and ugly. But I'm sure they made some concessions in areas because they knew that there were certain things that need to be met in order to sell the game. And one of them is having attractive women. I hate to tell you this. Attractive women do sell games. And it's not, don't get it the wrong way. I'm not saying that the women have to be scantily clad. I'm not saying that they have to be, exposing themselves. No. In fact, I would argue that if you could find a medium where the woman is allowed to be extremely beautiful and sexy, but doesn't have the energies of a Twitch OnlyFans model, that would be a good thing. Because nobody really likes the Twitch OnlyFans model. They just think she's attractive. They don't really give a shit about what she says. I mean, most of these people watch these girls on mute anyway. But if you can find something in between, like something wholesome and something a little bit sexy, something attractive, you will captivate a lot of guys and they will play your game, believe me. There's a reason why after all these years there are people that are still arguing, hey, is Tifa better or is Aerith better? Is Aerith better or Tifa? Still arguing after all this time. Because you managed to find those lines. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for today's video. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.